Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I've been talking a lot about the Epic Games Store recently because of them making all of these huge moves, and they're doing a lot of things to win gamers over. They're offering free games every 2 weeks, and I think that's pretty major. From December 14th to the 27th, you'll be able to get Subnautica for free. Super Meat Boy will be available from December 28th to January 10th, and then every 2 weeks from then on out, there will be free game offerings, and that's a pretty big incentive to try out the Epic Games Store, even if you have no intention currently in buying games. Just the fact that them offering free game downloads is gonna get you to download their client. And then they do have you in the Epic Games Store ecosystem, but outside of the free game offerings, I think the one major thing that the Epic Games Store is doing to win gamers over is, of course, exclusivity. They are working out exclusive game agreements with various publishers and developers, and we're just in the infancy of the Epic Games Store really getting going, and they've already gotten some major games exclusive to the Epic Games Store in some way. Whatever the case may be, I want to take a look at 6 games that look to have some sort of exclusivity tied to the Epic Games Store. And really, I want you guys to sound off in the comments section down below. Do any of these 6 games warrant the fact of you jumping over to the Epic Games Store and starting to use that? Because that's definitely the idea. I highly doubt that these publishers and developers signed up with Epic Games just on the basis that, yes, while they have an 88-12 split, you could have very well just released the game both on the Epic Games Store and the Steam platform, and without a doubt, these games would be selling better on Steam, but there are probably some behind closed door deals going on. We see this a lot in the console gaming market. Look at a game like Street Fighter V. That game was a PlayStation 4 exclusive. It came to PC as well. We've seen Microsoft work with studios like Platinum Games to try to bring titles like Scalebound over. That game was canceled, but this is something that is very, very common in the console gaming world, and me relating PC gaming to console gaming might be very disappointing, but here's the difference. It's not like you're being charged to use the Epic Games Store. If you needed to pay like $50 a year just to access the Epic Games Store, that would be one thing, but the Epic Games Store is a free download. And while I have been comparing this segmentation to console gaming, again, it is different because on the console side of things, let's say you own an Xbox One and Sony works out an agreement with a different publisher or developer to make a game timed exclusive or completely exclusive on their platform. Well, that incentivizes you to drop $300 on another console. In this case, you're just downloading another application, but you can see the correlation there. And I very much think that Epic Games is going to continue this trend because they have an absolutely obscene amount of money right now thanks to a little game called Fortnite. That's why we're seeing Epic Games really make this move. If Fortnite wasn't as successful as it is, do you think Epic Games would be dropping all this money to get these exclusive agreements to get free games for you guys? No, I really don't think so. So that's my spiel on that, but let's look at some of these games that have some exclusive agreements, and it's gonna vary with the agreement. We don't have all of the details. Maybe some of these games will come to Steam down the line and other platforms, but let's get started. First, we have the game Hades. It is currently in early access, and this is Supergiant Games' most recent title. Supergiant Games is an awesome developer. They brought Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre, 3 awesome games, super artistic. They've got great presentation, great gameplay, and Hades is their latest title, and currently it is in early access, and it's available to buy on the Epic Games Store right now for $19.99, no listing on Steam. Want to give you guys the description of the game. Defy the god of death as you hack and slash your way out of the underworld in this roguelike dungeon crawler from the creators of Bastion and Transistor. You can play in early access. It's a living game in active development. Expect regular updates with new features, events, characters, places, powers, and more. And again, it is created by Supergiant Games, and some of the art direction in this game is so tremendous. I want to play this game really badly, but with it being on the Epic Games Store, that's kind of a little bit of a barrier for me right now, and the fact that I have a million other games to play right now. So right now, with the game being in early access, I'm not incentivized all too much to just jump on over and try out a game like Hades. But let's say this game sees a full release and it still doesn't come over to Steam, because we have been given no indication on whether or not this game will be an Epic Games Store exclusive. But to me, somebody that's followed Supergiant Games for a long time, I played Bastion back on the 360 when it originally came out. It's a studio that I've followed for so long. Having a game like Hades, that's a big deal to me, and I think a lot of other people would fall in that camp. But let's go over some of the other games. How about this? By the looks of it, the former PlayStation exclusive In Journey looks to be an Epic Games Store exclusive. Now, this is one we still don't have a lot of clarity on, but it's listed right now on the Epic Games Store. Journey is an awesome game, originally released on the PlayStation 3, later ported to the PlayStation 4. You look at the Metacritic scores of that game, they're usually well above a 90, one of the most artistic and emotionally gripping games that you're gonna find. It's a terrific game, and I think it would sell very, very well if it was released on Steam for, say, $9.99 or even $14.99. With it being an Epic Games Store exclusive, I do think that'll limit the game a little bit. But I think that's a huge coup for Epic Games as well. What you're gonna see with Hades and Journey is, like, I think these games cater towards that hardcore gamer, but I really don't think they translate into the large majority of gamers. However, because Epic Games already have Fortnite, just adding games like Hades and Journey is gonna do a lot to get people into the Epic Games Store ecosystem, and that's really the big deal. What you guys have to understand is they want you in this ecosystem, and getting these exclusive agreements, offering these free games will get you into the ecosystem, so Journey is definitely gonna do that. Here's one that is very, very upsetting. It looks like this game will be released on Steam at some point, but this is a game that had a Steam listing, and now it's already available on the Epic Games Store, and the Steam listing has been revised to a to-be-decided release date. I am, of course, talking about Ashen. This is a game we've known about for a very long time. It's an open-world action RPG. It's about a wanderer in search of a place to call home. It's a world where nothing lasts, no matter how tightly you cling to it. And at its core, Ashen is about forging relationships. Players can guide those they trust to their camp. Together, you might just stand a chance. Now, it's available for $39.99, and there's a lot to unpack with this game specifically being exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Not only was this game listed on Steam, and I figured we were gonna get the Steam release the same time as the Xbox One release. This game is also available on Xbox One, fully playable. It's a full release that I'm sure they're gonna keep updating, but not only has the Steam release been affected, but also this is a game that's on Game Pass, and I believe it was to be a Play Anywhere title. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you are gonna be able to access Ashen on the Windows 10 store, and yes, the Windows 10 store isn't everybody's favorite, but if you're a Game Pass subscriber to just get this game additionally on PC, that would have been terrific. A lot of people are subscribed to Game Pass right now for games like Forza Horizon 4, maybe you're playing Gears 4, whatever the case may be, and then you were to get Ashen as well as a Play Anywhere title. I do believe at some point it's going to be coming to Play Anywhere, and at some point it'll be coming to Steam as well, because the listing is still up. But here's a case where these exclusive agreements are negatively impacting the consumer. I think with Ashen, this is clearly an instance of the game negatively impacting the consumer, and this is where you're seeing that console-style business practice really bleed over to PC gaming, and I think with Ashen, this is the most disappointing scenario that we could go, because again, it was to be released on Steam, it already had a Steam listing, and then it was supposed to be a Play Anywhere title, and it's not a Play Anywhere title right now. Instead, if you want to play Ashen right now, you gotta drop a full $39.99. I don't want to drop $39.99 on Ashen. The game looks dope, but I was going into the possible release of Ashen thinking that it was gonna be a Play Anywhere title, thinking that my already active Game Pass subscription that I had to play Forza Horizon 4, Ashen was just gonna parlay into that, and now as a consumer, I am negatively impacted. At this point, with games like Hades, I'm not negatively impacted from a financial standpoint. With Ashen, I absolutely am. And this is something more gamers need to talk about, because specifically with Ashen, this is something that is negatively impacting the consumer, and you cannot deny that. Again, I mentioned it before, I think it's gonna come to Steam at some point. I do think at some point it'll hit Game Pass on PC and it'll be that Play Anywhere title. But man, this is so disappointing that now we have that timed exclusivity is BS, and the only thing it helps out with is the developer, and I'm all for the developer making some extra money, but for the consumer, it absolutely sucks. Next up is another game that I do believe had a Steam listing, but since Satisfactory has been posted on the Epic Games Store, it has been delisted from Steam, and with Satisfactory, I don't think this is a game that is going to win over a large majority of PC gamers, so in this case, you know that there's some backdoor deals going on with a game like this. Satisfactory, if you guys don't know, it's a first-person open-world factory building game with a dash of exploration and combat. It touts charting and exploiting an alien planet, battling alien life forms, creating multi-story factories, entering conveyor belt heaven, automating vehicles, and researching new technologies. Gives me some vibes of No Man's Sky, and a game that I definitely want to check out, because it was listed on Steam. I think that is kind of whack, where a game was listed on Steam, maybe people had it added to their wish list, and now we got the bait and switch. But at least there aren't any financial ramifications with a game like this. Again, a smaller title, but a game like Satisfactory, it looks high quality, and I think that's what Epic Games is going for. Not having a gigantic slew of games, but having some depth there, highlighting games that have a lot of potential. And then we also have Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. I do believe this was confirmed by the studio Double Damage, that yes, it will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store, and then it'll be available elsewhere 12 months after the fact. 12 months of timed exclusivity absolutely sucks, and that's what we see on console gaming a lot of the times. 12 months is usually that window. Go back to Rise of the Tomb Raider. That game was released on Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 gamers didn't get it a year later. Again, in this case, it's not a big deal because the Epic Games Store is a free download, but still, they have that idea of releasing the game to your preferred platform 12 months down the line. And at the end of the day, we do do have preferred platforms, so having the games on a Steam would be the best because all of our friends are on there. Let's say you're digging a game like Rebel Galaxy Outlaw and you want your boys to try it out too. Well, now they have this additional barrier of the Epic Game Store for that first 12-month window. And lastly, we also have Genesis Alpha 1. This game is scheduled for a release on January 29th. It's been on Steam for a very long time. Epic Game Store has this game available to pre-order right now. It's available for $29.99. The Genesis Alpha 1 still listed on Steam. It has been altered and changed to be available coming soon, so it doesn't have a release date. You can't pre-order the game. We haven't heard anything official when it comes to Genesis Alpha 1, but honestly, connect the dots. I do believe this game is going to see some sort of timed exclusivity on the Epic Game Store. Since it is still listed on Steam, I imagine that it will be coming to Steam sometime down the line. So those are 6 games that right now, by the looks of it, have some sort of Epic Game Store exclusivity. Hades is currently in early access. Maybe it'll come to Steam after it sees its full release. Journey has an Epic Game Store listing. Ashen still has its Steam release listed, but you can buy it and play it right now on the Epic Game Store. It's $39.99. Play Anywhere has been affected for those of you that are Game Pass subscribers, so that sucks. Satisfactory had a Steam listing and now it's available on the Epic Game Store. They actually have the ability to sign up for the alpha right now. Rebel Galaxy Outlaw has a 12-month exclusivity window on the Epic Game Store, then it'll hit other platforms sometime down the line. And Genesis Alpha 1 is the weirdest one. It was listed on Steam, now it's been altered to coming soon, and then it's pre-orderable on the Epic Game Store for $29.99. There are definitely some positives here. The developers are making more money, and I'm sure they're getting a nice check from Epic Games. However, from a consumer standpoint, and I think it really goes to show with a game like Ashen, we have been negatively affected because for someone like me that is a Game Pass subscriber, I would be enjoying that game right now. Again, if you have an Xbox One and you're a Game Pass subscriber, you're enjoying Ashen right now on the X1. For me, I can't play that game as a Play Anywhere title, and I do believe it was originally intended to be a Play Anywhere game. Let me get all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about all of this? Because this is something that PC gamers are going to talk about for a very, very long time. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.